Blake Monroe's arrival in WWE has sent shockwaves through the NXT universe. From her days as Mariah May in AEW to her rebirth on WWE soil, her journey has been one of resilience, reinvention, and pure charisma. When Monroe walked onto the NXT stage, she wasn't just another signing, she was a moment. Her debut on NXT television wasn't just a surprise, it was an event. Fans were expecting a typical contract signing segment, but instead, they got a confrontation that set social media ablaze. Jordynne Grace, fresh off her own headline-making appearances, shared the spotlight, but it was Monroe who commanded the crowd's attention with her sharp presence and undeniable energy. The moment took a dramatic turn when Jacy Jayne, seeking to make a statement of her own, brutally put Monroe through a table. The sight of Monroe gasping for air, trying to regain her composure, told the story of a fighter, one who wasn't going to fade away quietly. It was a trial by fire. In one moment, Monroe went from being a hyped signing to a battered but defiant warrior, determined to rise again. Fans immediately latched onto the story, creating an online buzz that fueled anticipation for her next move. The speculation didn't have to wait long. On June 27, Monroe made her highly anticipated in-ring debut at an NXT live event in Fort Pierce, Florida. The crowd knew they were witnessing something special. Monroe stepped through the curtain, bathed in purple and gold lights, and the chants of "The Glamour" filled the arena. Facing off against Lainey Reid, a promising competitor in her own right, Monroe showed the kind of grit and polish that had wrestling insiders buzzing. From the opening bell, she dictated the pace, blending her AEW-honed offense with a fresh confidence, forged in the fire of WWE's spotlight. The match told a simple but powerful story. Monroe had something to prove. And prove it she did. After a hard-fought contest, she planted Reid with the Glam Slam, a finishing move as dazzling as her persona, and scored her first victory under the WWE banner. But it wasn't just the win that got people talking, it was the presence. Monroe carried herself like a star. Every strut, every taunt, every glance to the crowd screamed confidence. This wasn't someone finding their way. This was someone who already knew exactly who she was. Backstage, the buzz was undeniable. Veterans and rookies alike couldn't help but take notice. The women's locker room, already brimming with top-tier talent, had just gotten a little more competitive. And the fans, they were hooked. The chants of "The Glamour" weren't a one-time thing. They followed her from the live event to social media, where highlight clips of her debut quickly spread. Monroe was trending before she even made her first televised match under the new name. Her evolution from Mariah May to Blake Monroe wasn't just cosmetic. She brought with her a new edge, a sharper focus, and an attitude that seemed tailor-made for the NXT brand. Where Mariah May was flashy, Blake Monroe is dangerous. Where Mariah May smiled, Blake Monroe smirks. The chemistry between Monroe and the NXT women's division is already palpable. Rivalries are brewing beneath the surface. The likes of Roxanne Perez, Kiana James, and even Tiffany Stratton must be watching closely, knowing Monroe could be a major threat to their dominance. Fans have speculated about what's next for Monroe. Will she target the NXT Women's Championship? Will she form alliances or tear down the existing hierarchy one superstar at a time? One thing's clear, Monroe's presence means change. In interviews, Monroe has spoken about wanting to prove herself on the biggest stages. Leaving AEW was a bold move, but for Monroe, the ambition was always to be in WWE. Where the brightest lights shine and the toughest competition lives. Her alliance with Jordynne Grace on her debut night was a curious one, raising questions about whether the two are allies or rivals in waiting. NXT thrives on these complicated dynamics, and Monroe seems poised to play both sides of the chessboard. What's striking about Monroe is how effortlessly she blends the glamour of sports entertainment with the grit of professional wrestling. She looks like a star and fights like a warrior. It's a combination that WWE has built legends on. Her social media presence mirrors her on-screen persona. Confident, engaging, provocative, she knows how to keep fans guessing, whether through cryptic tweets or glamorous photoshoots that remind everyone why she's called the Glamour. But beyond the flash and the attitude, it's the work ethic that sets Monroe apart. In training, she's been described as relentless. Always looking to refine her craft, always asking the veterans for advice, always watching tape to improve her game. The NXT creative team clearly sees something special. Rumors suggest they're fast-tracking storylines to capitalize on the heat surrounding Monroe. Whether that means a rapid rise to the top or a slow burn character arc remains to be seen. One thing is certain, Monroe thrives in big moments. Her AEW background gave her a national platform, but it's in WWE where she seems destined to reach her full potential. Fans who followed her journey from independent circuits to AEW and now to WWE speak of her evolution like witnessing a star being born in real time. Few wrestlers have made the leap with this much anticipation and payoff. Monroe's story is far from finished. If anything, this is just chapter 1. The table spot with Jacy Jayne, the victory over Lainey Reid, these are only the opening beats of what promises to be a long and storied WWE career. The WWE Performance Center is abuzz with talk of Monroe's potential. Coaches praise her adaptability, noting how quickly she's picking up the WWE style. In a system built on creating superstars, Monroe seems ready-made. With the women's division heating up across Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, Monroe's timing couldn't be better. She arrives at a moment when the spotlight on women's wrestling is brighter than ever, and competition is fiercer than it's been in years. What remains to be seen is how she handles adversity. The table spot showed that she can take punishment, but can she rebound when the losses inevitably come? WWE careers are marathons, not sprints, and Monroe seems ready to run the distance. The reaction from her peers in AEW has been respectful but clear. They know they lost a major player. Monroe's decision to jump ship was met with shock but not surprise. Everyone knew her ambitions were too big to be contained. As the weeks roll on, expect Monroe to be featured more prominently on NXT television. Whether it's backstage segments, surprise appearances, or main event level matches, her star is on the rise. Rumors are swirling about a potential face-off with Jacy Jayne in a tables match, poetic justice for Monroe after their explosive first encounter. If it happens, it'll be one of the most anticipated NXT TV matches of the summer. The merchandising machine is already rolling. WWE Shop is rumored to be preparing the Glamour line of apparel, and fans can't wait to representative the new star's signature look. Industry insiders are calling Monroe one of the best signings of 2025. With WWE's global reach, her platform has expanded overnight. Her fanbase stretches from Orlando to Osaka, from London to Los Angeles. And yet, for all the buzz, Monroe seems grounded. In recent backstage interviews, she's expressed gratitude but emphasized that the work is far from over. She's hungry for titles, legacies, and moments that define careers. The WWE Universe loves nothing more than a good redemption arc. Monroe's journey from being slammed through a table to hoisting her hand in victory is a story fans can rally behind. It's real, it's raw, and it's wrestling at its best. Her nickname, the Glamour, may suggest style, but beneath the surface is steel. Monroe has shown that she's not afraid to take a hit, make a statement, and keep moving forward. The next NXT Premium Live event could be her breakout night. Whether she's challenging for gold or headlining against a top contender, the stage feels ready for her. Every era of NXT has had its breakout stars. Bayley, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai. Now, it feels like Blake Monroe is on that trajectory. But Monroe isn't just here to fit in. She's here to lead, to redefine, to set the tone for what's next in the women's division. As the weeks turn into months, the questions will mount. Can she capture the NXT Women's title? Will she make the jump to Raw or SmackDown sooner than expected? Or will she dominate NXT and build an empire of her own? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the WWE Universe will be watching. The glamour has arrived, and the world of WWE will never be the same again.